is focused on those digital guys, including myself. I'm very interested in the crypto world. I have been for many years, and this is for a crypto holdings setup with a trust, and that's a Cook Island Trust. So the Cook Island Trust is essentially the best trust in the entire world. Asset protection, privacy, a lot of mitigation away from some stuff. Now, obviously, all of these setups, please take into account, I don't know your personal circumstances, I don't know your residentship, I don't know the laws, because I haven't spoken to you. So please, if you are interested, please just do reach out onto the website, www.forwardpointsolutions.com. So, this here is a very simple setup, as you can all see. Very simple, okay, guys. So first of all, we have the Cook Islands Trust. The Cook Islands is over in the Oceania, in the middle of nowhere, the most private asset protection place in the entire world. Best place for a trust by far. You know, you've seen these nomads, these gurus promote some Panama trust or Dubai trust. This is not, just follow the old money. Cook Islands Trusts are not even that expensive. Very affordable, just a few thousand, okay? And to maintain it depends on the complexity of the laws which you essentially set. Don't forget, with trusts, if I just put on here, there are two things, okay? So trusts aren't owned by anyone. They have two things. As a trustee, and they have a beneficiary, which is where the funds essentially then go into, if I do this. And this essentially is who owns a trust, but no one owns a trust, so that's kind of how they work, okay? And they can live on until after when you're dead. So let's say you have these properties, you have a watch collection, a nice classic car collection, some horses. You can dictate what goes on with these because they're owned by that, which is owned by that, which is owned by the trust. Okay, so then you are here, okay, as the beneficiary. So, moving forward, we would have a Bermuda LLC. Now, this is based towards the digital world. There is Malta as well in the EU, but there's more legal requirements to do, potential scrutiny after the Maltese passport program. There's been a lot of things going on in Malta, so I wouldn't probably place myself there right now, especially for a crypto holdings company and a holdings company which orientates in the digital asset world. So this gives you a flexibility to also have a UK bank account as well. We can easily set that up for you with one of these LLCs. Super easy stuff, especially in London. They love some high-risk banking. So crypto wallets would be attached to here. They'd be crypto holdings. You could then withdraw them into your UK bank account. So I'll just really put these kind of together, if that makes sense. So then you could easily transfer into these companies here. So these are all British Crown dependencies in extent. This one is an overseas one. And Isle of Man, again, I'm pretty sure capital gains tax-free. It's owned by this as well, then owned by a trust, blah, 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 blah. Very simple stuff. So you could then use these funds to then asset protect again and put these individual assets in different companies. So one in Isle of Man, one in Gibraltar, one in the UK. Now, something I do want to touch base on is you see these videos on YouTube. I don't really watch them because I know they are a load of beep. I've noticed my views go down the more I swear, so I need to stop swearing because it's not helping the YouTube channel, it's not helping bring value to the people which you actually need, because so many people ask these questions and they end up following these fake marketing gurus who are just full of a load of beep, okay? So, the Isle of Man, fantastic place, very sturdy banking system. You get access to the UK, close to Ireland, XYZ, very good stuff. You could then have a property portfolio in there. Now, the reason why I'm ranting on at these marketers is because these videos are like, this is the best offshore location. Now, yes, I would agree, let's say Hong Kong, one of my favorite places. However, really the best is a structure. And the structure takes advantage of international laws. Very simple stuff. So nowhere is the best place. Yes, there's good places, but let's say Dubai. There's now 9% corporation tax in Abu Dhabi and Dubai. Is it now the best place, coming under scrutiny from, let's say, the dirty money potentially that has been running into it? Yes, we see that in London, but guess what? The city of London was founded in 38 AD. It's one of the second oldest city in the world after Rome. So it is based on finance and banking. Gibraltar, yes, it's been on some blacklists, but guess what? It's Gibraltar. People know what it is. People know what these overseas British territories are. And the Isle of Man is a fantastic one for holding a property portfolio. It's got some great stuff going on there. The same with Gibraltar, as I've mentioned in previous videos. If it's structured correctly and you don't have any bank accounts based in Gibraltar, so let's say, for example, you could have a bank account in Spain or Luxembourg or even London and then quickly transfer between the accounts, you can then go ahead and have 0% tax because there's no liabilities in Gibraltar. And if you didn't do that, then it would be a flat 10% rate. And you could then go ahead and maybe buy watches, buy classic cars, buy horses, maybe a stamp collection, maybe, I don't know, what other investment, some gold, some silver, some alternative investments. Let's say you base it all in on crypto. Maybe you have a property somewhere on Airbnb. If you did have a property on Airbnb as well, let's say you then own the actual property there, you could then have an Airbnb business. Or let's say, for example, to make things more simple, as I've gone and set up a UK LLC here, let's say you do any business deals, you're in some, you refer me clients and I pay you, and I'll obviously pay you into an entity over here. You can see here that you could then rent your Airbnb business, which is here, and put the money back into this corporation here, which then flows upwards back into here, back into your crypto investments, okay? Then if you want to then move it down to split it up into, let's say for example, you're running an Airbnb business. The reason is to protect you from lawsuits. Someone slips on your kitchen floor, they go through Airbnb, they said, yes, it is your fault, your floors are very unfortunately slippy. And you get sued because you broke someone's leg and now they can't go watch their football game. They've just travelled to the UK to stay in your Airbnb in Manchester or somewhere. And now they can't go to the football game and you've ruined their life. They sue you for $50,000 or $5 million. Doesn't make a difference. They can only sue this business here, which is worth absolutely nothing because it's just an operation company, super cheap, LTD, limited liability company in the United Kingdom, super cheap, super effective, and the money just gets sent over here, or it can get sent back up to here. It can get sent into Bermuda because it's owned by it, so it makes complete sense. And then, let's say you want to reinvest that money, not into the crypto, but into a new watch. So you can go ahead and buy a new watch using your Gibraltar company. Now, let's say you pass away and it's planned in a particular way using lawyers. Your kids, you can now dictate that they cannot sell Gibraltar LLC's assets. They can only buy. You can then say, let's say, you can say out of 100% of this revenue generated from the UK LLC Airbnb business, this goes back into crypto investing. Let's say on average you make 12% a year. You can now dictate on your trust that 4.5% of all of the profit has to go back into alternative investments. Why anything above double-digit returns goes into the Isle of Man company to rebuy. So let's say above double-digit crypto returns. goes back into investments into property. So you have a bank account here, you'd inject, let's say you've got a portfolio of $25 million in crypto, okay? And you go ahead and you make 25%, okay? You would then go ahead, so that's about what? 25 million, you make 4.5 million, just let's say. So you would go ahead and put, let's say, $1 million or 1.8 million back into another property here. And what you then could do as well is then create another company here, which is then owned by this property holding company. You just create like another one. So then all the properties are split up on an individual sense, if that kind of makes sense. And then this owns property 2. Now this is called true organization. Most of these, let's say, gurus do not have these types of structures. They just recommend you have a holding company and a few operational companies and stuff like this. This is called true organization. Why would you do this? Well, first of all, let's say this Airbnb business, which is now doing business with 2 of these companies. So property 1 over here is giving money to here because that's where the property is. Property 2 is also sending money to here. Well, it's renting out the house. There's a minimal payment into these. Let's say the Airbnb business rents out property 2 for $500 a month. Okay, so it pays the running costs of this business for free. There's now $6,000 a year sat in this account. Same for this LLC here, okay? Now, the Airbnb business, let's say, is generating on $1 million properties. Let's say they're renting out for £8,000 a month, maybe £15,000 a month. This money is then going back into there, and you can always leave a little bit in here to pay for legal fees, accounting costs, company formations for the actual following year in terms of the actual running costs, the filings, confirmation statements. And then it goes back into here, and then any money that's needed, you then drag down again. This is a cash flow business where you're using crypto to buy assets in an asset protected manner that's sustainable, and more importantly, it then has a trust above it. So you don't own any of this, the trust owns all of this, if that makes sense. Meaning, in terms of estate planning, when you die, you can have particular laws that dictate the future of how this is done, okay? So, yeah, I'm trying to explain it in very simple terms. Obviously, there's a lot of complexities involved. You just can't go ahead and open up a trust. Then after this, open up an LLC there, and then open up B's and B's and B's. You will have a problem along the way. You need to speak to a professional legal team or people that know what they're doing and have done this for many clients, such as we have, and also with work from a legal team alongside us is brilliant stuff. You can also use accountants to get their second or third perspective to make sure you're doing things correct. We have these contacts in place for you at Forward Point Solutions. So I'm not some marketing guru. I'm just showing you how we can move forward in the digital world, having your crypto wallets linked to a UK bank account, linked to a company that's tax-free, that's owned by a trust, that has the ability to have businesses, to have your watches owned by corporations, and also to have those properties. Now there's additional benefits. Because there's then assets on the books, let's say in Gibraltar, the Isle of Man, you can then look at taking debt from these. And then you could even focus on equity stripping methods to take out from all of this trust and put it into an additional company down here. You could invest in, you could basically plan the future after you have left this planet to make sure that your wealth continues for generations. So I hope this video is clear. I know it now looks a little bit crazy with all of these lines, but it's just to explain how flexible these are. Once you have a trust and you built a solid foundation, you know, you can then have a UK, let's say for example, UK Holdings LLC, which then owns, so let's delete these. So let's delete these again. So the money just flows down, money flows back up through this company here. You can then have the UK Holdings, which then own, instead of all this, sorry. Then let's say you have multiple businesses. You know, you could even have Hong Kong Holdings would be better from additional holdings. So holdings within a holdings, it's above a trust, but it's very simple, as you can see. So I'll change it to HK. And then over here, you can see, let's make this line. Okay, doesn't want to do it for me. Okay, so let's add these on. Let's say you then got a business in you've got the Airbnb business. So you could then have a business here, UK LLC. You've got this business here, which is, I'll explain in a second. You've got a Nevada or Wyoming LLC. And then also you might have Romanian LLC, or for example, Malta. Now, these could then be your Airbnb business, which then obviously money flows into these are all of your businesses, okay? So if you notice how your businesses are completely very far away from your actual assets, they're owned by an intermediary holding company, which is then owned by a holding company, which is then owned by a trust. So this is how it happens a lot of the time in these structures that we do for clients. So Wyoming LLC, you might have a business in IT consulting, which you might as well just have a BVI, to be honest. But let's say you have another United Kingdom LLC, and you have, let's say, Delaware, Wyoming. And you then have another company that does startup ventures and investments. So you can now start to see how this really builds out stuff, if that kind of makes sense. I don't want to be boring or stupid, but I'm not one of these gurus who just tells you, hey, do this company. It's completely unique to what you're looking for, what business you're actually doing moving forward. And let's say here, you might own 10% of Forward Point Solutions. Okay. Here again, you might own, 25% of Finn's payments. You can then see how all of this money starts to flow. But you might then do another venture with a friend. Let's say you invest 50% of Startup Ventures 2.0, and this is just with another investment friend who you like to do investments with. You can then buy two companies with him, 50-50 each, where then this company then owns, let's say, 11% of this, 11% of a movie app application. and maybe it owns land in Thailand, 400 acre. Okay. So now you can see all of this and how it's kind of built out. So you've been your own, this is how it generally kind of looks when you are an entrepreneur, an actual businessman. So we take it down from the top now. Cook Island Trust, full protection. Bermuda LLC is holding those crypto wallets. Your main income seems to be from the digital world, the digital landscape, and you have your investment company here. Okay. You could always separate this here, move this over here, and then have another holding company here. If you want to be that extra layer of security, each one of these is a layer of security and asset protection. This Bermuda LLC owns an Isle of Man company, Gibraltar, and Hong Kong holdings. Now this here is the property portfolio, which is then dictated by the trust. Everything is dictated by the trust. Okay. This Gibraltar LLC owns your watch collections, your car collections, your horses. Additionally, you could have another LLC below saying this one for watches, this one for this, this one for this. Maybe your watches in your estate plan want to go to your son, while all of your wife's jewelry or your mother's jewelry wants to go to the daughter. This can be set up within a trust. This is how fantastic they actually are. It's amazing at doing that, and it's much more complex, and it's completely tax-free in essence if it's set up correctly. And then there's another Hong Kong holdings company, which is all of your business operations. So your business operations are very far away from this investment into this app store application. Maybe you put 60K in to do some new movie application. It could be transforming your world. Look how far away from the money they actually are, because the money just flows upwards. Obviously there's money in some of these companies here, and there's a lot of money in this company here, but the money flows upwards. So this investment is nowhere near you. And this is the asset protection chain as you work up. I'm just dragging my finger along. If your asset protection chain as you work up here. And then obviously all profits get reinvested into the crypto foundations. So you can see how it kind of works out here when we do go much deeper. And this would be situated just for a simple crypto holdings. That's just because of Bermuda. It could be equities, and you could have Gibraltar here. We can really mix it up. I'm going to go into some different content soon, answering those questions. What I've done so far is just upload 5 videos on a simple overview of how you can build out these structures. Now, obviously, you need extensive knowledge in all of these different areas. These companies haven't just been put together randomly. To an extent, they have them, but I know which ones to pick. So, if you notice, I have no African companies here. I just have overseas British territories and Wyoming. So obviously this is 0% tax here, and this here, the money just flows upwards. This here, the money just flows upwards. And it's easier to onboard at Airbnb as a business if you're a UK company instead of being based in BVI or somewhere. It's going to be much more easier. And then again, you can then have a simple Revolut UK bank account for your Airbnb business and just ping money to the Hong Kong holdings company and expect fast transfers. Okay, so that's really nice to have these lovely EMIs. Instead, with a Bermuda LLC, you're going to have a bit of a stranger bank account. Yes, it'll be backed by tier 1 banks in London, such as NatWest, Barclays, Lloyds, but it will be an EMI that looks like a strange platform. I was actually on a meeting today. It was a very strange platform, very basic, not like you're used to with your HSBC accounts, your Revolut accounts, which we all love. It's not going to be like that. So I hope this video was a little bit more in depth. Getting to know me a little bit more. Obviously, you can do by getting in touch with me through the links below, or just dropping a message on the website. So I guess that's it, guys, and I see you in the next one. Again, please like, please share, and let me know in the comments what you want as your next videos. I've been filming a lot recently, so there's a lot of content up and coming. Where we take this YouTube channel, who knows? I'm just uploading some of my brain onto YouTube so you can see some of the work we've been focused on in the past few years. from running a corporate service entity, fintech and banking. This is what I tend to do every single day. Even if I'm not setting up structures for a client, sometimes I'm just doing the bank accounts for high-risk individuals, and I see all the different types of structures. These Belize marketing companies, XYZ. I don't really mention Belize a lot. A few reasons for that, which I can touch in some future videos.